Hey guys, it's DB Talks here, and today with me I have a very special guest. Please give it up for Zaelleaz. I think I said it right.
Zaelleaz, yeah. Very glad to be here, and yeah, I'm ready to talk about some anime, specifically Yu Yu Hakusho and DBZ, so I'm ready, yeah.
I discovered him, I was watching old Yu Yu Hakusho clips, and then he came up, and then, he mentioned power scaling in one of his titles of the video, so I clicked on it, and I was really impressed, and I thought, hey, let's see how far we can get Yu Yu Hakusho into Dragon Ball Z as far as, like, how strong they are, because for the longest time, I thought they were, like, I didn't think they could, be planetary level, but after watching, some of his videos, I was completely shocked. So, yeah, this is going to be a really fun video. And I wanted to talk, before I say anything, this is going to be the Lowball. We're going to do two videos. If you look at the link in the description, you'll see the other video, which is going to be the Highball, and that's going to be on his channel. So make sure to check that out at the end of this video. But yeah, this is just going to be the Lowball, as low as we can get.
Yep, should be fun.
So I guess I'll start. So at the beginning of DBZ, after the fight with Raditz, we know that Piccolo destroyed the moon because Gohan, Great Ape, is going crazy. And a lot of people, they see that and they say, okay, Piccolo, yeah, he destroyed it, but moon level feat. But what they don't realize is, okay, he also just used like a normal ki blast. He wasn't even using his best technique, which was the special beam cannon. And I don't have the exact power levels on me at the moment, but what I do remember is when they first fought Raditz, Piccolo and Goku both were at a power level of like 400 something. But when Piccolo charged up into his special beam cannon, it might have gotten to like, I know it was for sure over 1,000, but it might have got to like 1,200. So Piccolo was seeing like already like over 2 times increase. So to say that, him destroying the moon with the ki blast, oh, he's moon level, I don't think that's the case. So Zaelleaz, you want to elaborate some more?
Yeah, so with feats like this, it's very important to understand the difference between DC and AP. And so what I mean by DC here is like destructive capacity. He may have destroyed the moon, and that was the capacity to do so. But if you're looking at how potent the attack is, it's far above that. Just the ki blast itself, for it to have destroyed something the size that it did, but with something, the AoE, the size of like himself, right? That takes astronomically more energy to do so than what it took actually to just destroy just moon level. We're talking about small planetary levels of force here. And this is just his normal ki. Now, like his actual ki blast, rather. When he gets into like special beam cannon, this is why you're getting into still like the higher ends of small planetary force, right? It's not much more before they get into actual planetary force.
Yeah, and it seems like people always forget too that, hey, Roshi also destroyed the moon, and that was in Dragon Ball, like just Dragon Ball. And when he destroyed it, yeah, it was just completely gone. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And also, let's go like to Vegeta, for example. His power level was 18,000, and when he was fighting Goku, he said, hey, I'm going to destroy planet Earth. So immediately people go to that as, okay, the first planet buster. But as Zaelleaz pointed out, it would seem that Piccolo, I don't want to say the first planet buster, but, just that feat alone of destroying the moon with the ki blast, that just goes to say, hey, yeah, Vegeta was going to destroy the planet, but his Gallic gun, I don't want to say it's above planetary level, but it probably could have destroyed something even bigger than the Earth. Is that right, or do you think?
No, actually, I'm fine backing that for sure. So, again, with Piccolo, that was his ki blast, understand, that was getting into, like, the small planetary force. That wasn't his special beam cannon, which, of course, as we saw, like, DB Talks just pointed it out, like, that powered him up over around at least the 2 times increase in total power here. And his special beam cannon, that was his PL actually being increased. His special beam cannon is far stronger than a normal ki blast in of itself without him powering up, like, at all. Given that he can actually charge his special beam cannon for, lengthier amounts of time there's a lot of scaling here to show that it doesn't take much past a charged special beam cannon Piccolo to get into actual planetary levels of force, and Vegeta is comfortably above that, right? We have a very, very easy path to show for planet level potency with Vegeta. Perhaps you could say his Gallic Gun wouldn't actually outright destroy the Earth or so, but by like obliterating it such as the moon, but that would be coming from maybe its destructive capacity being not big enough. If it just had some more AoE, it might do it, but it's definitely potent enough.
For sure. So, after going over all this, let's jump into Yu Yu Hakusho. So where do you think, as far as the Lowball, where does Yu Yu Hakusho seconds with this?
So, yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is not nearly as strong as DBZ, but we're not out of the total power levels of Yu Yu Hakusho yet, so from the beginning, we have scaling that shows that Yusuke can fire off island-level attacks, and then just basic 100% Toguro, a B class, is someone who can, with his lungs, destroy that attack with the air pressure just of his lungs. And yet he can still go 100% over his 100%. If you want to see, like, exactly... I'm sorry, what?
I was saying that's nuts, man. Like, and I remember in the anime, I haven't read the manga, but I know in the anime when Yusuke shot it, I know he yelled, but it looked like he did it with his chest.
Yeah, it did, yeah. In the manga, you actually see him breathe in. You'll see it on the screen when I show this, too, is you actually see him breathe in, and he yells at it. Yeah, it's crazy. And a lot of scaling for Yu Yu Hakusho actually goes with, like, the air pressure of things. And so Toguro actually scales up to 200% of himself. And what's important here is, if you need to see it on my channel, you'd be able to see that I cover this. In Yu Yu Hakusho, it's not, oh, he went 200%, so he's 2 times stronger. That is not how Yu Yu Hakusho scales, but I don't want to exasperate this on this video here. So check that out if you're interested on how Yu Yu Hakusho scales, but for now, just note, we have Toguro who can yell away island potency level attacks, and he's a B class. Well, as we go up, we have someone like Sensui who is at the bottom of S class, who is capable of destroying Beheaded Hill, a country-sized object, but that's not country level. To make you understand this feat here, Sensui destroys a country-sized amount of rock, but with the air pressure of a punch. His punch being no more than the normal size of a human fist, right? We're talking about very small AoE compared to the amount of destruction. And Sensui, with his strongest technique, with scaling, we are barely getting to Piccolo level. So I still need to talk just a little bit more. We're still not there. If you're asking, where does Yu Yu Hakusho scale? We're not there. What do you think about that? Sensui is he's the second last final villain.
Yeah, so let's see, so Sensui is almost a Piccolo at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, not quite there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and he's the weakest S class, so wow, this is gonna be crazy getting into Raizen and all them. Wow. Yeah, take it away. I wanna hear this.
Yeah, so if Sensui was to go full power, use his strongest technique, he's still below Piccolo, but he's not by like a massive amount anymore. And if we want to get to like where Vegeta Goku would be in potency, we have to get to some end of series scaling. Now, what we know is Yusuke and Hiei and Kurama, 3 of the main cast members, they do some training for the end of series to measure up to the 3 kings. I'll show it up on screen where you can see like the total PLs of the 3 kings. The end of series main cast never get close to that level, okay? Because those are the the 3 kings, they are the true god tiers. The main cast never gets to god tier. They're just the high tiers of the verse. But as they start training to get there, they start raising their PL before they get to the final Demon World Tournament. And that is where they get to planetary force. Just to back this up some, I'll show you how they scale to, again, Sensui. The Beheaded Hill here, you can see its size compared to, like, an Okunin tree. And you can see that these Okunin trees casually house entire mountains and entire ecosystems aside from that. What's interesting to note is that it has like an entire forest, has an entire desert, entire plains, entire lake. And if we want to say, now this isn't the highball here, what I just want to say is that there's plenty of proof here that this is a consistent showing in size. There's, I believe, 8 different scans that show this size and maybe 2 that can somewhat discredit it. And you can see with just how big of a super massive structure these Oken trees are. Here, look at this scan. Compare it to Beheaded Hill, and its actual total volume measures out to like 200 plus of these Oken trees. When you consider like the scaling that's in Yu Yu Hakusho, we finally, at the end of series before they've fully trained, get to Planetary Force. We're almost done with Yu Yu Hakusho scaling, and we're just getting to the beginning of DBC, so that's where I'll end it there.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about Raizen. So we know that in the series, and correct me if I'm wrong, 'cause I've only seen the anime. I plan to read the manga soon, but as far as the anime, what I remember, Raizen, when Yusuke met him, he wasn't nearly as powerful as he was before. Like, he was about equal to Yomi and Makuro, correct?
Yep.
But in his prime, apparently, whenever he was actually eating and not starving himself, he was just a freaking monster. Like, he scared the other two. Like, they didn't want to mess with him at all.
He would, at his prime, he would body every single character that we've ever seen in Yu Yu Hakusho simultaneously and effortlessly. Every single one ever shown all simultaneously throughout the entire series. Yep.
So, in the manga, 'cause I know they had the power levels. Did they show what his power levels were? Time, or?
So, purely off memory, I know that he was about 1.3 million, give or take, and Makuro and Yomi were about 1.5 million, with Makuro being only about 200,000 above Yomi.
Okay. But as far as him in his prime, did it ever show that at all?
So the number that is given is generally around 20 million, and that comes from... yeah, right? Now, to be fair, this isn't stated anywheres. Instead, it's shown through him fighting Yusuke that he is no more than about 1% of his total power. And so, given he's about 1.3 million, you can just do the very, very simple math.
Wow. Like, I knew he was weaker, but 20 times... Oh my god. That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
So we have this guy who was 20 million times stronger in his prime, not 20 million, but 20 times, sorry. Misspoke there.
Oh, no. He was at 20 million. I see what you're trying to... Yeah, so he was about 20 times considered, like, in terms of PL to his...
I accidentally said 20 million times, but I think they understand what we're saying. But, yeah, so we have a guy who, was 20 times stronger in his past, pretty much. Where do you think he would stack in DBZ? So,
I want to preface 2 things, and one is that, once more, the 20 times is his PL, and not just necessarily his strength. Yu Yu Hakusho does not have a linear scaling, it is exponential. Again, not to saturate this video with that talk. But second thing is, I'm sorry, I'm losing my track of thoughts here. You know what, first I'll just answer the question is, I believe he scales to around Zarbon level, given... This is... Oh, the second thing, that's right. This is hypothetical. We don't get to see Prime Raizen. It's such a sad thing about Yu Yu Hakusho, is we don't get to see him at his strongest. So take this with a grain of salt. But given everything, with how he scales and how Yu Yu Hakusho scales, and what he's shown, yeah, we're talking about Zarbon, no stronger than Monster Zarbon. That's the height that Yu Yu Hakusho could possibly reach.
But remember, guys, this is just a lowball. I'm telling you, after listening to some of Zaelleaz's stuff, some of the stuff I heard, I was like, ooh. So, get ready for that highball, because you're going to be surprised. Yes, for once, I'm going to be highballing things, and I can show you what Yu Yu Hakusho can really get to when you start highballing a lot of the things. Now, let me ask you this, too, before we close out. So let's go back. So Vegeta, power level 18,000, he was going to wipe out Earth. And we're not sure if it was going to be, like, completely evaporated in, one go. But when we get to the Namek saga, sorry, I misspoke. His power level, I think it was 24,000. And then Zarbon, his power level was stated 23,000. They never really gave a power level for his transformation, but we do know that after Vegeta, after he gets his Zenkai, he was able to take him down. So if we go based on what his increase was last time, so the first time he went from 18,000 to 24,000, so that's 6,000. If we were to say he, went 6,000 again, so that put Vegeta at like 30,000, I guess you could say Zarbon transform is probably like 28,000 in that range.
I would say
so,
I would just want to say that potentially, perhaps my memory is failing me here, but didn't the boy, legitimately just about one-shot him?
Oh, you talking about Zarbon or Vegeta?
No, Vegeta's, one-shot Zarbon after he got his Zenkai boost to fight him again.
It's kind of tricky, because I've seen both the Kai version, and the Kai version is the one that's more closest to the manga, which I haven't. I'm just gonna get this out there, guys. I haven't read the manga. I know.
Gotcha.
But what I remember from the anime was that in Kai, I'm pretty sure it was instant. I know in the original anime, they kind of dragged it on, but Vegeta, he still had the upper hand. It seemed like he was holding back.
Yeah.
And then when he started trying, he just punched a hole in Zarbon's stomach, and then just Ki blast, dead.
Yeah, that's what I remember. So he beat him with a punch and a Ki blast, right? That's what actually killed him, right? Is my memory?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shoot. He may have even gotten a stronger Zenkai boost than the first time, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is, so if we go to Zarbon, and let's say if we put him around that 28,000 power level range, so that's about 10,000 more than Vegeta was on Earth.
Yeah.
If we're putting Raizen at that level, if he were to do some kind of Ki blast to try to destroy, I guess we could say Earth, for example, would it just be completely evaporated like Piccolo did to the moon, or do you think it would take a while? What are your thoughts on that?
So you're saying, wait, if Raizen was to do this, or if Zarbon was to do?
Well, I guess because you said if we're putting Raizen in that Zarbon category,
yeah.
If Raizen, went full power to destroy, let's say Earth, for example, would it just completely, in one go, evaporate it, kind of like how Piccolo did the moon? Or would it be kind of similar to what Frieza did, to where it kind of went to the core and then it took a few minutes before it, exploded?
I'll do you one better. When it comes to Ki and Yu Yu Hakusho, you can actually see, I'll show different scans here, where the aura can encompass, just disgusting. Remember those Okanin trees? Here they are again, covered in aura. Raizen Prime, he probably would be able to realistically destroy Earth just by powering up, let alone a Ki blast. So if he was to do a Ki blast, yeah. And the reason he'd be able to destroy it with his energy like this is just simply because the AoE is so much, not necessarily because it's stronger than his Ki blast. But if you could have Prime Raizen Ki blast Earth, yeah, that thing's gone. Yeah. No problem.
Wow, dude, that's insane. Alright, well, hey man, it was really great having you on the channel. Everyone watching this, please check out the Highball. This is where we're going to get into some even crazier stuff, And it seems like Raizen being Zarbon level, I guess back in the day when I used to power skill Yu Yu Hakusho, or not really power skill, but assume where they would be at in DBZ, I guess I could see that. For the Lowball, this makes sense, but I'm telling y'all, when we get to this Highball, it's just going to blow your mind. I was really shocked. I could not believe the stuff I was hearing, but you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. I think it's awesome.
All right,
so,
yeah.
Zaelleaz, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, yeah, I had really fun, and it was really great talking to you, man, and hopefully maybe we can do some more even.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, well, thank y'all for watching. I'm DB Talks. This is Zaelleaz. I still hope I'm saying this right.
You're good, man. You're good, yeah.
All right, you guys have a great one. Take care.
Yeah, ciao.